We got a lot of storylines here. NFL preseason schedule kicks in on Thursday night. Bryce Young, Carolina, is going to make his debut for the Panthers. He will be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers in their first preseason game. He's really had a rocky week. He was very frustrated to the point he stormed off the field. Bryce Young went 7 for 15 in a weekend scrimmage. Twice he had the ball inside the 10-yard line in a red zone package, did not get the football into the end zone, and he was really just upset with how poorly he has played in chunks of time. So you got that. Jordan Love, Green Bay, bad morning practice to begin with, got a little bit better late in the morning practice. They've given him the keys to the car with the Packers, and it's up to him to make this thing work. The one thing is he doesn't have the plethora of wide receivers and proven tight ends because a bunch of those guys have left. One went to the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. Another just signed with the Bears. So he's got kids all around him trying to catch the balls that he's thrown. He had 2 interceptions and a fumble in the 11-on-11 drills on the weekend. Took a deep breath. They put him back out there later in the 7-on-7s, and he completed passes of 20, 21, and 30 yards, including a touchdown. So who knows when it's live fire and it's a real deal how Jordan Love is going to do. The Raiders situation, Jimmy Garrapolo. Last week, Josh McDaniels praised Garrapolo by saying he hit the floor running here because a lot of the stuff we did when I was in New England and he was in New England, he knows. Saturday, Sunday practices, and I've never heard of this before. Jimmy G combined 7 interceptions.
7
in 2 practices.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's not good.
No.
The other thing, and I don't know what's going to come of this because Josh Jacobs, the lead running back, is not there. He's continued in this franchise tag holdout. There is a storyline of the Raiders are so upset they just might remove the franchise tag and let him be a free agent on the street because he refused to sign the 1-year, $10 million franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
He turned down $13 million a year, and that money's gone. He can't come back and re-sign for the 13 offer. He missed the deadline. So either he plays under the franchise tag, or maybe they move the tag. He becomes a street free agent. Problem is, nobody's got any cap space now. So who's going to sign Josh Jacobs to any type of state-of-the-art money? There is a theory out there that if they take the tag off, and I've seen guys have the tag removed, but usually it's then they come and play, and during the season they get a new contract extension, then maybe they take trade offers. I hear Denver might be interested in Josh Jacobs because Denver's got cap space, but geez, the Raiders trade with the enemy in their own division. It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's the latest, that they're really steamed at Jacobs, and Jacobs has dug his heels in. Rams situation, opened the preseason against the Chargers on Saturday night. Rams roster, Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Kupp, though he's hurt. Aaron Donald. You don't know anybody else. They have 40 rookies of
40.
the 90 guys who are going to play Saturday against the Chargers. 40.
Wow.
Can you say the word rebuild?
Yeah, really.
Can you say 4-13, this might be painful?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's the latest there. And Cooper Kupp, he's got a hamstring, and they're trying to downplay it, but hamstrings don't go away in 15 minutes. So he may not play at all in preseason, and then he'll get to the opening game of the season, and you hope there are no setbacks along the way. But I just think the Rams are sitting here on the precipice of something I think could really, really be ugly. Okay, so a lot of topics. Go ahead. Talk about the kid quarterbacks. Talk about 7 interceptions in 2 days.
That's who I want to talk about
geez.
is Jimmy G, because doesn't it seem interesting that we always kind of had low expectations for him. When he came to the 49ers from the Patriots, he was a guy, kind of plugged him in, and he did better than we thought. And then he was steady Eddie managing the team, and every once in a while he make a dynamic play, and we're like, hey, Jimmy G, and it kind of got this bandwagon thing going, but you were always on thin ice. You always knew that something was about to implode, and sure, he had the injuries, but now maybe is he getting exposed by the Raiders defense? Is this who he really is?
Or maybe he's getting exposed because the Raiders don't have the 49ers offensive line, and the Raiders traded their star tight end, Darren Waller, and the Raiders Do they have a lot of marquee guys at wide receiver? And there's no Josh Jacobs at running back, but in a scrimmage against your subs, and by the way, the Raiders defense does not in any way equal the monsters of Midway, Chicago, etc.
Right.
But holy cow. I mean, I was stunned because I bought into the theory, well, he knows a chunk of this playbook and the language and all that because it was with Josh McDaniels in New England and the kid played pretty well. But maybe it was just a bad day at the office. It better have been a bad day at the office because if he's not right and not comfortable, and you got to hope he doesn't get hurt because he does have a history of getting decked. Wow, that's not a good story.
Well, if it's the Raiders, there's going to be drama, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can count on that.
Rams, 40 newbies. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's a rebuild for sure.
Yeah. Hey, listen.